Interface Video presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and the Frankie Smith Funeral Home.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. I'm Paul Jassogne, your host. Thank you for joining us. This actually is the first new show of 2020 that we're taping this year. Hope you had a great holiday season, both Christmas and New Year's, and we move into 2020 now, and we look forward to a good year of the shows we've got. We've got a lot of great guests and a lot of great events that we'll be covering, some old, some new, so we'll look forward and see how the 2020 season goes here. Again, thank you for joining us. We're downtown at Fairfield Federal. First guest of the new year. Pleasure to have Director of the Lancaster Public Transit System, Carrie Woody. Welcome.
Thank you. I feel so honored to be your very first guest of the very new year.
And it was on purposeful that we scheduled you as the first new guest of 2020.
I bet it was on purpose.
We could have had anybody, but no, we held out for you. You're a tough get.
I feel so honored.
You're very busy. We got that. So again,
thank you.
Again,
I got on before the mayor.
You did. That's actually right.
Can we make certain that he knows that?
I have a feeling he will know that. I'll tell Chief Ward, who's on in a couple of weeks, and we'll let him know, and he'll certainly.
Oh, and I got on before Chief Ward.
You did.
Even better.
See,
Thank you.
The hierarchy is pretty high here.
I feel so honored.
Carrie Woody, the director of the transit system here in town. I was looking over your website. You really have a nice website. It's very comprehensive, very easy to use, easy to look at, and things to do that. And I guess maybe this is your mission. I don't know if you actually have a mission, but this is the first thing that's on there. Committed to providing safe, affordable, and accessible transportation for anyone in Fairfield County. And as I look over your website, I'd say you do that.
We do, and please note that we said safe first, because safety first.
Safety first, very good.
But yes, we do. We take safety very seriously, and that is our mission. We want to provide transportation for anyone in the area that needs it or wants it at a safe, affordable rate.
Well, I was looking at, and again, it's probably been several months since we've had you on, probably the middle of last year, I'm guessing, somewhere like that. So it's been a while, and probably some things changed, but I was looking at the routes and the things you do, and it certainly looks like Pickerington and Carroll are now a big part of your whole outlook and how you run the business.
Yes, and we have been running transportation in Pickerington since 2010, but it's been a very slow start.
Really?
Yes, but I will say in 2019 we hit record numbers with the amount of people and the rides that we were able to help with. Mm-hmm. People use our service for all kinds of reasons. They use us to go to work, they use us to go to doctor's appointments, the grocery store. We have people that go get their hair done, their nails done, go to lunch, a lot of variety of reasons and a variety of ages. So this year, our highest ridership ever had been 118,000 rides in a year, and we were just shy of 130 rides in 130,000 rides.
That's a dramatic increase.
It is in 2019. So I think that we're hitting our mission. We are providing a lot of transportation in this area, and we're hoping to continue to grow.
And one of the words you use, one of the adjectives, not only safe, but affordable, and I don't know how it could be more affordable in there. And I know there's some subsidies going on in that, but routes are as low as 25 cents with a 10-cent transfer fee. So for 35 cents, you could ride pretty much all over the city.
Absolutely. You can actually get to Pickerington.
Wow.
Yes, if you're
in Lancaster. You
can't drive
for that cheap.
Yeah, if you're in Lancaster and you hop on one of those routes for 25 cents and then you transfer to go to Pickerington, it costs you 35 cents to get there, 35 cents to get back. And you have access to the county.
And probably a lot of people may not know how that works, how it can be, and let's face it, that is very inexpensive to use any kind of transportation, let alone public transportation. So how is it that you can afford to do something as comprehensive as that for so little money?
And Paul, you hit on it exactly. We do get a lot of questions about that, how it is so cheap and how do we afford to pay our staff and keep the doors open, but it is a subsidized program like you referred to. We rely on state and federal grants to cover all of our costs. They do require that we charge a fare, so we do charge a fare. But the way it's structured, the more we charge in fares, the less we are eligible for in those matching grant funds. So it is meant to be a subsidized program to keep the cost low so that it does stay affordable for people who need to use the transportation.
And I've never been in your office, so I don't know, but I can envision you having a map of the city and kind of everything's laid out there, knowing how detail-oriented you are, and showing where you cover in the city, what areas are touched. So is it pretty much every part of Lancaster is covered?
Every part of Lancaster is covered, and we actually cover the entire county now. So our route service, those fixed routes that you see the bus stop signs and you just hop on, you pay your 50 cents or quarter fare, that is concentrated in Lancaster with a route that goes to Pickerington and Carroll, and then the Pickerington route runs all day in Pickerington. So the routes are concentrated in Lancaster with one in Pickerington. But our demand response service, which is that service where you can call us and we can pick you up at your home, similar to a taxi service, but it's going to be shared ride with other people on our buses. But that service, that demand service, goes all through the county every day, all day long, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And I notice one sign, I pass it every morning when I'm out. I go out in the morning and I'm out early, but there's a sign on a pole right there by Walgreens on Memorial Drive.
Yes.
And I think it actually has times, like it says :40, so I mean at 40 after the hour or something like that. And are you pretty accurate on those? Did they try to hit those posts pretty good?
Yes. Now, there are times that we run late, especially given the past holiday season. Holiday traffic definitely put us behind a lot, and we got a lot of calls and complaints about being behind during that holiday traffic on Memorial Drive. But for the most part, we do try to run on time. Law tells us that we can't leave that stop early, so we'll never leave the stop early. If anything, we may just run late.
Do they just pull on 33 there, right there on Memorial? Say example on Walgreens, and they stop right there where the sign is, and then they would wait. If they get there at 38, they're going to stay till 40.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
It is and so you do this. Are the times the same around county? Do you have county times too, where you hit posts around the county, or is it just city?
The city and then that loop in Pickerington are the ones that have the stops, the actual designated stops with those designated times. There are some stops that don't have signs if the stops are on private property and we aren't permitted to put a sign there. For instance, maybe the mall. They don't have a stop sign, but we have what entrance that we stop at and then the designated times.
So what, and I know you have, I don't know the number, 4 or 5 routes. I don't know how many there are in the city. There are additional ones for the county, but how many vehicles do you run in the course of a day, a week?
During our peak time, we have 23 buses on the road. So we're pretty busy, and like I said, we're out throughout the county all day long.
And a little birdie told me, actually it was Carrie, that's a little birdie that told me, that you perhaps are in need of some drivers.
We are. So if you are watching this and you're looking for something part-time to do and you like people, and you have a good driving record, we would love for you to call our office at 681-5086 or visit the city's website and check that out, because we are looking for good drivers and good people to help us out.
Now, when somebody is hired there as a driver, I see there's some youngers, maybe some older folks that mostly guys I see drive. Maybe they're not all guys. But when I pass a van, it seems to me I see, for the most part, I see fellas driving that. Is there a training session that you put these folks through? Now, we know they have to have a good driving record. We understand that. There's going to be some other checks and balances going on there. But is there a training session that they have to go through and pass before they're actually on the road?
Yes, we do go through a training session. It usually takes about 3 weeks to go through our training session to make certain that everybody has really good safe behaviors and they feel very comfortable driving the buses and securing devices. So again, safety first, so yes.
They need CDL licenses or?
No, we do have a few vehicles that require CDL, but for the most part, our fleet is non-CDL.
And I noticed that on the vans I see, the white vans that I see around, they have a handicap thing. Do they come in off the back on that?
The side.
The side. So these are for perhaps wheelchair people. So there is some training, a segment that goes on how to handle that specialty area
Correct.
for them? Because that would be, if you hadn't trained in that, you might know how to handle that.
Oh, absolutely. And pretty much every wheelchair we see is a completely different device,
Yeah.
and they all have to be secured differently. And so, yes, we go through all of that training, and it's pretty stringent training.
Can they handle more than, can some of your bigger buses handle more than one wheelchair at a time? So they move up from the lift, they move into the van, and then they roll to another segment in the van?
Correct. And our biggest vehicle holds 3 wheelchairs at a time.
That's pretty good.
So, yeah.
And then probably they have to know how to handle packages. I'm sure they have to help folks to do that.
Because we have broken eggs before, and it was not pretty.
Broken eggs, that's good. Of all the things that could happen, that's perhaps
So
the
yes,
worst I could
carrying
see.
packages is a very big deal.
Yeah, yeah. So in the course of the day, what's the earliest you run and what's the latest you run?
So we start at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. We run until 6 p.m. with that demand service where you call us and we pick you up at your home. Our routes that operate until 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. So you can hop on those routes again for that 50-cent fare from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then we operate on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then we'll run one of those routes the first Saturday of every month.
With Carrie Woody. Carrie is the director of the Lancaster Public Transportation System. And if you were the queen, but we know you are the queen of public transportation. I have a picture to prove that with the sash, with the tiara.
You presented that to
I
me
did.
last year.
And you are always the princess or the queen with us. That's the way it works.
Thank you, Paul.
But if you were the queen for a day and you could anything upgrade in your whole transportation system, what would be the one thing that it may occur in the future, but you would like to have right now?
Paul,
More vehicles, more drivers, more routes.
drivers.
More drivers.
Drivers, absolutely. Good drivers.
Does that limit what you can do now, not having?
Yes. So good drivers.
Yes, drivers and good drivers.
Good drivers.
And you have both, I bet.
Yeah. Some better than
Drivers
others.
and good drivers. All right. Any plans on any increases in terms of? I know every year we've seen different routes, and you've now again Pickerington and Carroll, that's increasing. Any thoughts about any additional changes immediately or in the future?
In the future, absolutely. I think for this year, 2020, we would just like to really get better at what we're doing and really refine all of our customer service and all of our performance. But then starting next year, 2021, we're going to look at expanding again and adding some additional routes.
So what's the number, or how would they contact somebody if they don't want a regular route, which again there are signs everywhere, they can find them. If they want a specific need that your transportation fits, how do they do that?
You can always call us at 740-681-5086, or you can always visit the city's website and look under the Department of Transit, and that gives all of our contact information, the bus route schedules, or how to use those rides that come to your house.
So with the expectation here of 2020, with the number you've given us for 2019, is the expectation that would perhaps even increase?
I would look for it to increase.
Really?
Yes.
Busy place.
It is.
More drivers needed.
More drivers.
Again, check on their website. Go up Lancaster Public Transportation. You have a great website. Lots of good information
Thank
on
you.
there. Very up to date. Very helpful. So look that up. Thanks for joining us. Our
Thank
first
you.
guest
Thank
of
you
the
for
new year.
allowing me to be the very first, Paul.
Carrie Woody with the Lancaster Public Transportation System. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our 2 locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Thank you for joining us. We are downtown here at Fairfield Federal. We want to remind you that the as you move into 2020 now, we're well into the new year. If you're thinking about a construction loan for your home, or maybe buying a new home or remodeling, any of those things, fairfieldfederal.com is a great website to go to talk about that. You certainly have phone numbers on there and folks you can call and talk about things, but if you're just beginning this search on any of those things or other things that money might be the answer to, fairfieldfederal.com is a good place to start. They have a lot of information on the website, whether it's personal, whether it's business, any of the things, or internet banking, which is the hot commodity right now, where their ATMs are, how you can do that, check balances, check everything via the internet. Of course, you can do that here at fairfieldfederal.com. So again, all the phone numbers and names of the folks are on there that you can call and talk to them, and they encourage that, but some of the information can be garnered if you just look at their website. So again, I would suggest fairfieldfederal.com is a good place to start, a jump-off point, and then they have a great website. You can go there and look a lot of information up, and then move on from there with other questions you may have about things they do or people that are here you can talk to. fairfieldfederal.com. It's been a while since we've had Corey Schoonover with us. Corey, a lot of hats, but today we're going to be talking about the one with the Fairfield Area Humane Society. Corey, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hope you have a good New Year's and a good Christmas. Busy time up on the hill there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Had a great holiday, and a lot of animals found homes, and so we're excited for the new year for sure.
I think we're going to talk about what you do there with the Humane Society, because I think, for the most part, I think people understand that if there's lost and found pets, they can call you. You're a resource for that. And anytime there's animal cruelty, you're, of course, are one of the places to call for that.
Yep.
But then if you want to go to a good website, this website is a good one. It's very interactive, lots of information on there. I think I just went Fairfield Area Humane, and then it pops up, and then you can check it. You probably have a real address you can check it, right?
Yeah, fairhumane.org, but yeah, if you just search for Humane Society, and we'll pop up in this area for sure.
Well, they've got a lot of information on there, a lot of good-looking puppies. We're big on puppies, and I grew up with somebody that my mom always had Siamese cats, so I'm a cat person too, so we just love animals. But I was looking at some of the things you do, and my golly, you take on a lot to chew on.
Yeah, this is my 10th year, and looking back on, I just had made a post on my personal Facebook page. I couldn't believe it was 2020 and how fast the last 10 years have gone, and then to look at where we started with the Humane Society and where we've grown at 10 years. The goal really for us, everybody thinks Humane Society and like, hey, that's where I can come to adopt a cat or a dog, and we do a lot of that, close to 1,000 of them a year now. But I really wanted to make it a one-stop shop, if you will, in terms of even if you don't have the room to add another pet to your house, you have the ability to still come see us for your current pet needs. So whether it's our spay and neuter clinic, or whether it's just buying your flea prevention. Mm-hmm. We do grooming, dog training, and now last year we added our wellness clinic, so we have a vet clinic on site now. So it's just really anything pet. Check out the Humane Society. We probably can do it for you, or at least get you in the right direction if we don't. And
I'm sure that's a big part of what you do, is if it's something in the realm of you don't do, then you're a good resource to say, well, here's a number you can call or somebody you should see.
Yes, absolutely. So I think the biggest misconception that's out there, if you've lived in Lancaster for a long time, or if you've been in this area, our building is the old Fairfield County Dog Shelter. So when I was a kid, there was just the one building up there, and you could drive around and look at the dogs.
Had a loop in there. That's right.
So now that we're in that old building, we still have some people maybe get confused because we share the driveway and we're right next to the county dog shelter. So I think some people think, oh, well, you can adopt a cat on the top of the hill and you adopt a dog on the bottom of the hill. We get a little bit of that, but the biggest difference is if you have a stray dog that shows up at your house, that's where you call the dog shelter. Mm-hmm. But if you have a neighbor that's not treating their animals properly, that's when you call us. So the stray dog aspect on one end, but then we handle all of the cruelty and neglect cases in the county.
And I know you work closely with them. Either one of you, if they know the other one's the resource there, they would share that easily, because I know you work closely with them and in concert. A lot of the things you do probably together.
We get into a lot of situations. We work really closely with even operations in the city. So we work really closely with the police department, the sheriff's department, even code enforcement. So, but a lot of our cases sometimes get into adult protective services issues or children's services. So as mandated reporters, and when we're dealing with animals, animals are tied to people, right? So we deal with a lot of those people situations as well.
With talking with Corey Schoonover, he's the director of the area Humane Society, and as he alluded to several of the things right there, I think, if you go to adopt a pet, that's a big part of their business. Probably the biggest part of their business is what they do up there. But if you go to the website, you see how many more different and really logical things, the next step that you've added on. These just seem to make so much sense. Rather, since you do this, why don't you do that? And now you do that, do this. And I'm sure one leads to another. And now you're really a comprehensive pet place.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And we want you to understand that a new pet is a lifetime commitment, right? So if you're, and pets are like kids. They get sick, or they need their hair cut, or nails trimmed, whatever that may be. And we want you to think, okay, if I'm going to adopt a puppy and I'm going to have this dog for 15 years, you can come for everything. Their vet care, we have people walk in, it's $5 to get your dog's nails trimmed. And I don't know if you've had a dog that hates its nails trimmed, or even a cat. We probably have, I was just doing some stuff this morning, and we had 10 people come in yesterday just to get a $5 toenail trim. And it's really those things that we like to get out there, because as a nonprofit organization, we really count on those little things to add up to really help us with the other important parts in terms of the adoptions and housing animals and getting them healthy for us to find them new homes.
Looking at some of the things, Corey, that you do up there, I think the first one you list is the wellness vet clinic. This is a big deal now you have going on there.
Yeah, absolutely. We want, in a perfect world, I wouldn't have a job. No one would need to surrender their animals, or there wouldn't be animals looking for homes. And a lot of things, a lot of times over the last few years, we get people surrendering their animals because they can't afford basic vet care. And if you don't take care of the basics, it can turn into something much bigger. So whether it's your flea prevention or just your annual vaccines, we wanted to give people the opportunity to keep their pets and walk in the door and be able to get. So you can come to our wellness clinic and get an exam and get all of your vaccines for the year, a fecal, a heartworm test to check for heartworms, and you can walk out the door for under $100. So really the goal with that is, hey, we want to help you keep your pets healthy and in their home, and we want to do it at an affordable cost. And you kind of see that as the theme across the board for all of our services.
Now, you have, a couple vets come a couple days a week?
Yep.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, so right now the vet clinic is open. It's by appointment, and we're open on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and we do appointments from 9 to 3:30. So I'm not saying those days are the most convenient, but it's worth it to rearrange your schedule to get in there. And then as the demand grows for that, we'll continue to expand and add other days. We just actually installed, towards the end of last year, we installed a dental suite. So we're actually going to be able to do dentals for dogs.
That's a big deal.
And it is. And right now I'm just trying to make arrangements to get a vet in there. And then you'll see us kind of add. So even in our first year of operation there, we've already added blood work. So you can come in and get your basic blood work. Some dogs are on medicines for seizures or things like that, and you need to have blood work done every few months. So you can actually come in, get that done, and then if if it requires something more than what we offer, we have a couple different vets here and around town that we can refer you to, and they can just continue the care with what we've already started.
And part of that, I know it's a spay and neuter clinic. Is that part of the vet when they visit, or is that
spay and neuter
by
is
an appointment?
Yeah, spay and neuter is completely different from our wellness clinic.
Okay.
So spay and neuter, we have Rascal unit come from Dublin once a month, actually once a month every month, and every other month they're twice a month because of the demand. That is come in and prepay to get on the schedule, because we do cat spay and neuter for $60 and dog spay and neuter for $110. So for that price, we book out 3 and 4 months in advance. So I believe we're already booking into March right now. And when we
Crazy.
Yeah, it is. We had 13 people come in and sign up animals yesterday to get them done. So that service is a little separate, but you come in and prepay for that. We get you on the schedule, and that's a same-day drop-off. So you drop off in the morning whenever your scheduled surgery date is, and then you pick up later in the afternoon. And those clinics, we do 50 surgeries on that particular day. So we're really trying to help the pet population at the same time.
I mean, I think we talked during the fair. I ran into you and we talked about things, and you were talking about perhaps a new building project you've got, at least in the thinking stages.
Yep, we're actually progressing past the thinking stage. We have approved building plans. We've had to tweak a little bit for handicap accessibility to the building. It's at, that main building that we had that we talked about, we used to drive around the loop. 1939 is when that building was built, and we've added 2 different buildings on in my 10 years, and we're getting ready to blow out the front of the existing building so we can have a bigger lobby. We can add additional adoption rooms. So you'll actually probably in the next couple weeks see construction happen, and hopefully it'll be a quick 30-45 days. And we're really excited about that because it really gives us room to operate. Right now we have a revolving door, we call it, when we're trying to do business in the office with 3 different people in there and trying to help the customer. So we're actually, it sounds weird, but we're super excited to have a big lobby.
I imagine the staff's pretty excited.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm if I don't make it happen, I'm in trouble. So we're making it happen.
Corey Schoonover, Executive Director with the Fairfield Humane Society. Again, you can just Google that and search engine on that and find it. They do a tremendous amount of things with pets that perhaps you may not even know it. So it's worth a visit there if you have a pet, just to see what's available. And again, they're booking months in advance on some of these things. So if something interests you on that site, call them or get on there. What's the phone number again?
It's 740-687-0627.
Give them a call. They have a great website, very interactive. I think you'll enjoy looking at them. A lot of pictures of cute puppies and stuff up there. I'm a big rescue dog person. That's where I've got mine up there. So they have a great location up there that's going to get even bigger. So excited about the future here. It's going to be pretty exciting 2020 for the Humane Society. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Corey Schoonover with us. He's director of that. Thank you for joining us. And we appreciate you being with us in Fairfield today.
Interface Video presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and the Frankie Smith Funeral Home.